Hey everyone, it's Kiki. I'm here with another video. There's a slight unboxing in this video because I have just gotten my brand new pen tablet today. So I'm all excited about that. Hashtag not sponsored at all because I'm not that lucky. But this tablet is one of the ones that Jazza recently reviewed. And I was in desperate need of a new tablet because the one I had was dying. So yeah, I'm going to open this up and get everything installed and attempt to make a dynamic, dramatic artwork with it. Probably not the best thing to attempt to make with a tablet I'm not familiar with, but hey. I'm all about trying to push some boundaries, and I figured that's a good way to do it. This is like, I don't even, it's like the entire thing is just stuck to itself. Like, I don't even know how to open it. I'm like afraid to like destroy it. The only thing I have to say that as that's intelligent. Aha! I got 2 marks. Alright. So, I don't even remember which one this is. The Inspire H950p. Slice. Slice. Throw that down there. Oh, it says thank you. I don't know what this is. Warranty card. I suppose that's important. Right, there it is. Ooh, it's all sleek. It's actually kind of almost bigger than I thought it would be. This is the one I just got. See, it's all nice and sleek. And this, attached to the cord, is the one that I've been using. So it's just, you can kind of see the size difference there. It's slightly taller, not by much, and a fair amount wider. So, that one, that old one there, that one is actually a Wacom tablet, and it's about 4 years old. And normally I can keep my technology really well, but I've actually kind of always had issues with this one, and it's been progressively getting worse. So I'm really hoping those issues go away. It's so, like, big and fancy. Look, it's like all like streamlined. And this is the old one. It's gonna take some getting used to. Anyway, I'll see you in our rage. Alright, so I have it hopefully correctly installed. So I have this blank, smaller size page open. I'm just gonna mess around a little bit here just to try and get used to the difference in size and just see how it works in general, and then I'm gonna move into the proper painting. Alright, so to play around with it a little bit, because I didn't properly uninstall my old tablet, but it is now working. Pressure sensitivity is now working, which is good, because pressure sensitivity is good. The little cat is my mascot. His name is Wishsayer. He's adorable. And the other stuff was just me using the various tools. So yeah, now that I've got that, I've got kind of the width thing sort of figured out. It really wasn't that hard to adjust to. I was kind of worried about it. It's good. Organized my shortcut keys. Time to jump into the giant dramatic thing I have planned. Well, that introduction to the video took a little longer than I planned for it to, but hey, things happen. So this is actually a picture I've sort of been wanting to draw for a while, but just never did it, wasn't sure how to do it, wasn't brave enough to do it. There's several reasons it didn't happen. But considering I wanted a challenge piece, I figured something that I'm kind of scared to do would be a good piece to do it with. So here I am. The things that I really wanted to try and work on with this one were perspective, just because I still have a lot of issue with that. So I tried to make sure that I had the distance shown by all the characters that are within it. A darker lighting, because a lot of my pieces tend to be very vibrant, and I just wanted it to be a darker piece, have a darker atmosphere, and which is not something I'm used to. The placement of just items in general, of the characters, of the surroundings, just to try and make it a little bit more dynamic and not so stale. So I try to have the creatures and the trees a little bit more staggered. Like I have that one tree that's like right up in front there, because normally I tend to try and avoid having things that would block a view. You can't always do that, you know, and it does sort of help add to that drama aspect. And the last thing that I wanted to try and do that I don't think I did quite as well as the other ones in this was emotion without a face. Portraying an emotion without being able to see the facial expression, because more often than not, I have the character, you're looking at their face, not their back. I think I did pretty well with the male character. The female character, not so much. I probably should have changed her head angle. Speaking of the female character, she's supposed to be pregnant. I don't know if it comes off that way, but she's supposed to be. And as for the picture itself and the story behind it, this is actually a Legend of Zelda piece, but it's not based in any of the existing games. This is my own original story based within the realm and universe of Legend of Zelda, but it's my own creation, if that makes sense. Like, the other games are referenced in it, and I kind of make fun of some of the logic in it. But this is my own Link, and my own characters, and my own story. It's not, you know, based on Twilight Princess, or on Ocarina, or any of the other games that, for some reason, I can't remember any of the titles to. But the idea behind this story is a what if. The games that I've played, I haven't really played many of the old 8-bit games, but the ones I've played, you start off, you get your little cutscene of how everything kind of goes to crap, but Link is there. I mean, not always necessarily ready, but he's there, and he gets it right. Oh, I mean, except for Breath of the Wild, but that's a whole nother story. I also started writing this story about in 2012. So anyway, the idea behind it is, as I said, what if? What if the darkness has been there? What if it's taken root and it's already starting to change the land, and Link's not even been born yet? In this picture, you have Myra, who is Link's mother, and then his uncle, Siva. I wanted Siva to look semi like a Shikai, or Sheikah, or however you say it, but he's not actually a Sheikah. He was just kind of trained by them. So I wanted his outfit to be similar, but not exactly. They were traveling from one city to another for like a checkup for Myra, and they ended up getting ambushed by these creatures, which initially were supposed to be just a new, different version of Bokoblin, and they ended up looking. I was trying to design them, and they kept looking like something from like the Labyrinth or Dark Crystal, and I was getting so irritated. I think I finally managed to get them to look not quite puppet and a little bit more my own thing. I'm gonna say that they are Bokoblin, but they're like scavenger Bokoblin, that like they're not like the normal Bokoblin that you run into. They're the ones that like live in the dark crevices and scrounge around. Yeah, so that's, and then the big shadowy figure in front of them who kind of is leading the attack. The idea behind this scene is they are running, they're getting chased, and more surround them, and the shadowy figure steps out and basically goes, "Hey, I need to kill your unborn baby because he's the chosen hero, and I'm gonna stop him before he can stop us." So yeah, that's kind of what's going on in this scene. you know, it doesn't quite happen. Intervention is a thing after all, and Shadowy Man gets stopped. But yeah, I do have prologue for this story and the first 2 or 3 chapters up on my DeviantArt. I'll put links to those down in the description if you would like to read them. But this is meant to be a darker, nittier, grittier kind of Zelda world, but at the same time, there's going to be lighthearted moments. I have 14 chapters written out, and the first, like, 8 are just Link growing up and learning how to fight and dealing with the crap at home, essentially, before he actually fully goes out to face the world. But he doesn't face the world alone, because as another part of the what if is, what if he isn't enough? I mean, yeah, in some of the other games he has a little guide companion person who goes, hey, go this way, go this way, go this way. But this one is more of he actually has someone who will help him in combat and is there with him through the whole thing. A fight partner, essentially. But yeah, that's the basic summary of it. There's a lot more to it, and I do hope to try and finish the story. I haven't been writing a lot recently. I've been focusing pretty heavily on my art and trying to get my YouTube channel up and going, get a little bit more of a notice in the art community. It's very hard, but I'm trying, and I'm gonna keep at it and write every now and then when I feel like it. So, after 14 hours, it's done! And I'm impressed with myself. I wasn't quite sure how I was going to manage to make this happen, but I made it happen. And the new tablet was really nice to use. I adapted to it really quickly. I got, used to the spacing and the extra pressure sensitivity, because my last one didn't have such good pressure sensitivity. But pretty much all of the issues that I'd been having with my other one, I didn't have with this, which was really nice. The entire reason I got a new one. But yeah, so I'm really happy with this. I'm happy I got it. I kept kind of forgetting that I had all these extra buttons here. Like, I even took the time and made sure they were all where I wanted them to be. So, 14 hours. I am really happy with this. I am so tired. I wasn't sure how dark I wanted the edges to be. I mean, you would have seen I did make it really dark at one point, and he had suggested not quite doing that, just because it kind of basically blocked out this entire half of the picture. Now it's kind of boring. You just have this big blank space. I mean, there's already kind of a dead space there, which I tried to break up. Sort of worked. Next video, I'll be doing something slightly different. Family member will be making a very slight cameo, and I will be going outside briefly, and then coming right back to my home. So yeah, if you enjoyed this and whatever rambling I have done today, because I can't remember any of the rambling I've done, but if you enjoyed this and want to see more of whatever I happen to do, but yeah, if you want to see more, subscribe, like the videos, come back, I'm lonely. See you next week.